In this video, we will be creating floating bottom navigation bar as shown in the simulator. When you scroll down the screen, the floating navigation bar will stick at the bottom center of the screen. Before we dive into the code, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. In this tutorial, we will be creating the floating bottom navigation bar step by step from scratch without using any packages. So in my code, I have created a simple Flutter app that has a stack widget, and inside the stack widget, there is a list view builder widget to display the background text. So the floating bottom navigation bar is fixed at bottom center position. That's why we have to place it inside a stack widget. So below the list view builder widget is where we create the floating bottom navigation bar. Before creating the bottom navigation bar, firstly, let's create the required data to be inserted into the bottom navigation bar. So as you can see in the simulator, we needed two types of data, which are icon data and the title text below the icon. So now I will be creating a list of icon data variable and a list of title string variable. So in the future, if you would require to add new item to the bottom navigation bar, you just have to modify these two lists without touching the code below. Next, we also need an integer variable to check which item is selected, and by default is the first item of the list, so it's assigned to 0. Now we will start creating our floating bottom navigation bar. Firstly, I will be creating the outline of the navigation bar, which is a white rectangle container with border radius and box shadow applied. This margin value is where it provides the space around the floating navigation bar so it don't stick to the edge of the device. Now let's check it out in the simulator. So here I forget to add the navbar widget to the stack widget. So now as you can see in the simulator, the rectangle container is aligned on the top of the stack. In order to make it stick to the bottom center, we have to wrap the navbar widget with align widget and set the alignment to bottom center. So now it's aligned to bottom center. Now coming back to the navbar widget, we have finished the outline. Now we will start adding the icons and titles. Because the icon and titles are aligned horizontally, so I will wrap them into a row widget. Instead of creating the icons one by one, I will use map function to map each icons and return the design widget and then convert them back to lists using toList method. Now let's create the design widget. The design widget includes an icon and a text placed vertically. So I will wrap them in a column widget. So for icon widget, it will be wrapped inside a container widget with some margin customization. And the icon data will be passed into the icon widget. Next, I'm required to create a boolean to check if the selected index is equal to the current index. And the current index is the index of the nav icon that is returned. This boolean allows me to easily differentiate and customize different color for selected and unselected item. Now I check if its selected boolean is true, the icon will be in blue color, else gray color. Now let's try it out in the simulator. So as you can see, the icon shows and the first icon is in blue color because selected index by default is 0. Next, we have to add the text title below the icon. So we just have to retrieve the text of the current index from the nav title list and place it into a text widget. Additionally, we can also check the isSelected boolean and provide different text color to match the icon color. Now let's try it out in the simulator. So there is an overflow error. To solve this, I will add single child scroll view widget to the column widget. So now it shows perfectly without error. However, the nav bar is still not responsive yet. To make it responsive, we have to update the selected index value whenever user click on any of them. So I will wrap a gesture detector widget, and in the onTap function, I will update the selected index value with the tapped item index using setState method. Now let's try out in the simulator. So as you can see, when I click on any of the item, the color change responsively to the selected item, and when we scroll the list below, the nav bar remains at the position. Now we have successfully created a floating bottom navigation bar in Flutter. If you have any question, feel free to comment below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next tutorial.